Good afternoon, everybody. It is Tuesday. It is okay, a little after 3 o'clock, but technical difficulties do happen. Sorry. You would think after all these years I would have resolved that. Feels like years, doesn't it? I don't think it's actually been a full year. I'm gonna have to look at that. Has it been longer than you know what? I think it has been. Do you all feel like you're in a time warp? Because I feel like I'm in a time warp, but I'm working really hard on breaking out of it. All I know is I am going a little back in time because I'm having one of my favorite guests back on to talk to us about social media for 2022. And you'll understand why it's a little bit of a time warp because we were talking about social media for 2021. And I've talked to her a couple of times about social media because she is the media maven and you have to get to know her. So if you've been watching us and you've seen her before, you know what's in store. And if you haven't, you're going to want to know this woman. She's amazing. I adore her, and you will too. It is the awesome, ever awesome Miss Maggie Carey.
Hello, my friend. How are you? Hello, everyone out there. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. I love playing with you on Zoom-I-Fication. We always have such great conversations.
So I really had a moment there where I was like, have I been doing this for a year or 2 years?
My life is divided now, pre-COVID and COVID, like craziness and more craziness.
I think I started these in May of 2020.
Wow.
So it's been at least it's been like what, a year and a half.
Yeah, because Master It Monday was the same type of thing where I started doing the lives Monday at 2 and I had done workshops and then, and I'm like, how long? 150 videos later. And there you have it, right? Like, it's like, because I was doing 2 a week. Like I was doing my live and then I was dropping a short video. And you don't realize like, holy cow. Yeah. 150 videos. And I'm sitting here going, what did I talk about? What?
Crazy.
Always something new.
Nice plug too. You really do have to watch her Master It Mondays. Go to Master It Media and watch the Master It Mondays because it's amazing. And if you're watching me on YouTube, you should be watching Maggie on YouTube. Maggie's YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is pale and weekly in comparison to Maggie's robust, amazing YouTube channel filled with the most amazing content. And I'm not lying. You got to go look.
And one of my most popular videos is Miss Jean Turman telling you about how to take cell phone pics for your social, which was awesome. Like, I mean, it got a lot. It's still one of the high, I think it is the highest, like Crazy Town.
It's so good. But if you're watching us, if you're watching us live, great. Tell us. We want to hear from you. And if you're watching us on the replay, we're so happy you're there too. Give us comments. We'll look at them. We'll get back to you, I promise. But however you're watching this, you probably have figured out that I really adore this woman.
I love you too.
She has some of the best content. And she does something called Teleprompter.
Right.
And Teleprompter is a thing that you get once a month.
Once a week?
Is it once a week?
Once a week.
It's once a week.
Every Wednesday morning, and it's a play on words, right? Prompter, because I'm telling you a prompt for your social, right? So, but yeah, they get it once a week, and it has a prompt. It's got a free Canva template. It's got all those hashtag holiday, because you can get hashtag holidays. You go find them, right? But are you really going to go find them? Are you, or are you going to wait and you just get everything all together? Because they tell you, oh, it's, ugly sweater day, ugly Christmas sweater day. But what do you do with that? So we give tons. Oh my gosh, it's insane. And then we do you've attended our monthly workshops.
Have.
That's the month. Yeah.
That's why I thought it was monthly.
Yeah, that's monthly.
So forgive me, I'm getting a text from one of our friends saying, where are you? Are you guys on? And I'm like, yes, come join us.
Yes, we're here. We're here. So, but
yes, people, life is double streamed, so forgive me.
Yeah.
But you probably have figured out, since I did not know it was weekly, that I foolishly have not signed up for Teleprompter because I'm one of the stubborn people. Don't be stubborn. Because as Maggie knows, I infamously missed National Camera Day.
I remember.
And had I subscribed to Teleprompter, I would not have missed National Camera Day, which is a photographer who uses social media heavily. That was a miss. Seriously.
Right. And like another thing, like you do, portraits a specialty over there, right? Like you do headshots. You can't miss Entrepreneur Day, right? Like those are days you have to like, what are, all right. So I did a post about, cookies, or it was the National Cookie Day, whatever it was, right? But the reason I did it, I always flip it into my business, right? So I shared a recipe. I shared a little bit about my family history, that my aunt had shared this recipe with me, loved the recipe. But what I also did was I put in recipes do really well on social, just saying. So if you're a restaurant, if you're a bar, if you have a favorite drink, like share who you are with people. Let them see how amazing you are. And if they're turned off because you like, red wine instead of white wine, well, sorry, but life goes on.
That becomes a really great thing to do in your social, which is ask that question.
Yeah.
Are you red or white?
And people will share like something simple like that. Like stories, we talk about like your content for next year, right? Like our whole topic today is what can you do next year? Do in stories, add the little sticker that's ask a question, do a poll, a yes no thing, do anything like that can increase your because you're basically saying engage with me. They're rewarding you for doing this, so please like look into it. If you don't know how to do it, go over to my YouTube channel. There's tips on that.
Also, we are going to get into 2022 planning, but I'm going to say the other thing that everybody really needs to understand: how long people are looking at your post matters. So if you give them meat in the comments, if you give them something that's moving, even if you don't have to even vest yourself in video, you don't have to do that. Just the carousel on Instagram, or the option to have multiple pictures that they have to scroll through. Something that makes them stop and interact with your post, even if it's just clicking through photos, makes a big difference to the algorithm.
Right. And that little more button that you'll get, like if you write a caption and there's more, that's considered engagement if they click on it. So really fun fact, think about news headlines. Like we all get those little things on our phone, right? The little advertisement things that say, this, I'm trying to think of the one I saw recently, but I'm just going to go with like, see what Cher wore to the Oscars, right? You don't give the picture of Cher at the Oscars. You say, see what Cher wore to the Oscars, right? Like, and they'll zoom in on just like her face or something like that. And then you have to click to see what it was. Like you're building, like, it's like a story. If we were to go to the movies and somebody told you the end of the movie when you walked in the door, would you go? Maybe not. Right. But you don't want to, it's that anticipation, like build the excitement. Remember your storytelling on your social, right? So key.
And it gives people the option to get interested. So when you're thinking about what you want that first line to be before that little word more, make sure. So I don't know. Do you guys watch? Have you ever watched The Masked Singer, or maybe American Idol or whatever? When they're like, and the winner is after this commercial.
It's commercial,
right? So, and we'll tell you and now we're gonna after this commercial. That's what the more is. The more is after this commercial. So if the words that you use right before that word more, if it gets you right to the point where the thing that they want to know is after the word more, That's a really good thing.
It's about building that excitement. And, we talk about it all the time. Like, you know, are you providing information that's not just like sell, 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 buy for me, buy for me, buy for me. Yeah, you got to have a call to action, but sometimes the call to action doesn't have to be a sales pitch, because it can turn. Do you like to be sold to? No, most people don't. I do look forward to seeing certain commercials. I do look forward to, if they're, but why? Why do Super Bowl commercials do so well?
Because they're funny.
They're funny, they're entertaining, they touch a heartstring, they evoke emotion, right? They're creative, they're visually stimulating, right? Like, think about it. Like, think what attracts you to advertising, right? Like, why do businesses do these things where they say, come in and get a free, remember back in the day, open a bank account and get a free toaster.
Exactly.
Don't do that anymore. I could use a free toaster. I don't even eat toast. My kids do.
It is the craziest thing, but it really makes a difference when people have an emotional pull to what you're posting.
Right.
You feel like, especially if you're in a small business and you have a product that you want to sell or a service that you want to sell, you feel like you should just be able to tell them about your service or your product. But they don't want that anymore. They want to connect. People want to, the global they, want to connect. They want to feel. They want to feel like they're a part of whatever this is, that you are in it with them, right? And they want to be a part of growing the business, or at least feeling like
they want an experience, right? Like, this is the new generation, right? Like, in the old generation wanting to be, do what the new generation is doing. It's about experience, right? Like, why do people spend $6 for a cup of coffee at Starbucks when they can go to the gas station and get it for $1? Right? It's the experience. It's the why. You walk in. It's the prestige of holding the Starbucks cup, right? Like, whatever it is that you're providing your people, right? Like, is it educational? Is it informative? Is it entertaining? Is it thought provoking? Is it trending? Are you talking about something that's in the here and now that everybody wants to know? Like, I hate to say it, but like, everybody's like, woohoo, the COVID's over. We can go out. Yay. But you don't also want to beat them over the head. I had a client recently, she sent me a screenshot of a text message that she got, because this one client wants to post every day on social media. And that's what we give them, right? So she said, if I see another one of your posts, she's like, what the heck, right? Like, I am so tired of seeing your company on the social media. And she's like, I'm not, thanks for the feedback. You do have to, there are you have to balance the, am I being annoying, or am I being, helping people? Am I, is it a good thing? You have to play that balance. Like, I had people tell me, like, you're all over the place. I'm like, well, if I'm all over the place and you're seeing me, guess what? You're all over the place too. But it is, right? When you're looking at I'm on YouTube, I do the speaking engagements, I'm in our master networks meetings, right? I have all of my socials that I do, and I'm still growing. Like, I still have to figure out if I'm really going to invest time to do TikTok, because it's not going to be the thing that I can dedicate enough time to make it worthwhile. Am I going to get business from it? Maybe not. But at this point, like, the one thing, like somebody said, oh, well, I have to be on Facebook. I got to be on Instagram. I've got to be here and I've got to be there and I've got to be here. I said, no, you know where you got to be. You got to be where your clients are. Pick one, do it really, really well. And once you nail that down, like if you have a system like we have with our system that we also we sell as part of our one of our packages, you can go in and you can post on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Google My Business and LinkedIn and Pinterest, all at the same time. Like if you can do that, do it, right? Tweak the content a little bit and off you go on your merry way, because it's not taking you more time, right? It's taking you the same amount of time to create one post as it does to create 6, because you're using it in one place, right? But if you don't have that luxury, guess what? Contact me, first of all. Second of all, if you don't, you just pick one. Do you like Facebook? Do you like Instagram? Okay, great. You may be really good at Instagram, but that's not where your target audience is. I had we were talking to one of our fellow Master Networks members, and she's like, so I went to this coaching program and they were telling me what you've been telling me for 2 years, which is that I should be on LinkedIn. And I'm like, She's like, so now I need help with my LinkedIn. I'm like, you got it. I'm helping with her LinkedIn. She's doing great. She's organically, she's not just posting stuff. Like that's what we do. We post stuff, right? But if I just posted stuff and you didn't do anything, it's not, so somebody comments. What do you have to do, Jean? If I comment on a post, what do you do?
I have to comment back.
Otherwise, why are you doing this? Right.
Because all you're doing is actually upsetting people.
Yeah.
It's crazy how upset people get when you don't respond to them. Because this is about being social. It's about becoming social. And how can you stay and be social? Think of it this way. Social media is a party. That's what we said. How social are you going to be in 2022, right?
I love my new title.
I know, party planner. Social media is just a big party. So if you're at a party and someone walks up to you, I got my red Solo cup. Someone walks up to you and they're like, so how you liking the holidays? And you stand there going, and they're like, I really think I like your shirt. It's a really nice shirt. And you're like, they will walk away because you're not being social.
And you're not engaging. You're not like, and I think too, some people are like, well, I post and people like it, but they don't comment. So my question is, well, do you comment?
Right.
And here's the thing, guys, if you feel like, you know what, it's a lot of effort to comment, right? It is. I'm not saying it isn't. Just pick a couple of things that people who are, and I'm saying be strategic about this because your time is valuable. And I'm not saying be strategic in the sleazy kind of stalky way. I'm saying, just want to caveat that you need to look at it this way. If my target audience is sitting in Jean's, like say Jean gets a lot of business professionals who own businesses that make over 500K, right? She probably has my target audience sitting in her client, in her Instagram. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to comment on, oh, Jean, I love that picture. Blah, 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 blah. And they're going to see my name there. If I'm on Instagram, right, they can click on my link. They get my link in bio. Facebook, they see my name because I'm going to do it as me. Well, on my Facebook personal page, I have that I'm a social media strategist and a link to my website. But you want to talk about the power of LinkedIn? If I comment on one of Jean's things on LinkedIn, not only does my picture show up, but my name and my little, your little, description, right? Like that, whatever you make. And on top of that, it's like social media strategy. Don't put something fluffy in there. Put something strategic. Meaningful. And you're promoting yourself while you're helping somebody else grow their channel. It's a win-win. And if you provide some really great insight, don't just say smiley face or, oh, Jean, love that picture, right? Like it amazes me, Jean, how you can capture somebody's personality when you take their business profile photo or business headshot, right? Like I'm using keywords, right? I'm using business, I'm using headshot, right? I'm using capture, right? Capture is a photo term, right? These are things when you post and the algorithm rewards you for your engagement. That's the other thing people say, well, I'm posting 3 to 4 times a week and nothing's happening. Yep. Are you sitting in the platform and doing something else? Are you giving as well as receiving? So in the spirit of the holidays, tree in the background, think about that. Think about the gift you can give another business for free that can have rewards back to you as, oh, just like, right. It's tough. What would you suggest, Jean? Like when somebody says to me, Maggie, I don't have time to spend on social media. And I understand. Like I understand. I get busy sometimes, right? Sometimes. It's rarely. I just sit here and have my coffee. I'm fine. But what do
she has a coffee.
It's coffee talk. It's when somebody says they don't have time for networking. So I say, so you don't have time to make money? Like it's my comment that's snarky that I will not say to a client because I get it. Like sometimes I don't have time, but make the time, even if it's 10 to 15 minutes a day. Like that time that you sit playing, solitaire on your phone, take the 15 minutes to grow your business once a day.
But there's something else to look at, right? You could say, I don't have time to make dinner. Okay. Do you not have time to make a roast? Or do you not have time to make a hamburger?
Yeah.
Right? Pick and choose what it is that you're going to do to feed your business.
Right.
Be strategic about it. So if I think when people look at social media, and I have been down the rabbit hole way too many times.
It's so hard.
From experience. It is very true. You get on and you're like, oh, that's a really cute cat. Oh, I love that shiny thing.
Squirrel.
Ooh, that's a cute song. Ooh, I totally get it. Like you go on, I'm going to be there for 15 minutes. And 2.5 hours later, you're like, where did my day go? I understand. So the thing is, do you need to set an alarm? Do you need to set something where
that's a good idea?
You give yourself 20 minutes in the morning and you give yourself, or 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night. And you're just like scrolling through this stuff and that's all you're going to get and the alarm's going to go off. Then you have to not hit the snooze. But it helps. And make sure you're strategic about what it is you're saying and how you're saying it. And that helps.
So here's a tip, okay, that'll help prevent going down the rabbit hole, okay? There are certain, let's say let's take Facebook groups, right? You want to engage in a Facebook group. So here's a tip. Bookmark the Facebook groups. Have a bookmark tab where you maybe have, I don't know, let's just say 5 Facebook groups and go in there and comment or mix it up and comment on this one these days and that one that day. Do the same thing for Instagram. Do the same thing for LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn has groups. People don't even realize it. Like LinkedIn has groups. LinkedIn has, there may be certain people, again, like if you have an influencer that, and by an influencer, I don't mean a social media influencer necessarily. A person that
someone who's influential in your business,
in your world, right? That you want to comment on and look at what they have to say and right. And maybe you even want to share their content to your page, to your feed, right? When you do things like that, you're drawing attention to yourself. So that person is going to see, wow, Maggie shares my content a couple of times a month. That's pretty cool. Let me check out what she's doing. When you do things like that, you're constantly showing up, you're going to get noticed. So that person of influence may reach out to you and say, or you can reach out to them and say, you know what? Thank you for providing such interesting information on your feed. I find it really valuable. In a direct message, right? On top of the feed information that you're providing, right? Like it's insane. The power of what we're able to do online, like I know a lot of people struggle with social media. I get it. I really do. you have to have a level of self-control. And in order to do that, that's why I use a tool to post on my social media. I knock out a week, a month, or whatever at a time, and then I post it. And then I just make sure that the time that I post, I need to make sure that I'm available on social media, because here's a statistic for you. People, remember how you said you're at a party and if you don't say hi, right? People expect a response within an hour of when they post to you. An hour. So if you do a post when you're heading into a meeting and people are commenting and you don't, because they're commenting then. If you comment with a question, like say somebody said, like I said, oh, amazing, captured headshot, like blah, blah, blah. And then you say something like, so what did you think of his tie? Or what did you think of, they were wearing purple? Are you happy? Like whatever it is, encourage that other person to talk back to you, right? Because you say, hi, how are you doing? I'm well, how are you?
Right.
I'm good. And where does the conversation go from there? Ask a leading pointing question, right? Like ask a leading pointing question that get more information.
And if you know the person, be specific. So if Maggie left something on my feed that said, great capture, I love, how you, whatever, I would then respond back and I would say, I'm so glad you said that. I know this means a lot inside social media. How would you think the customer could use this? Right. Because then it's not just a question, it's a question where Maggie gets to show off her expertise.
Right. And everybody loves that. And I think we all have that desire to help people, right? Like it was one of the hardest things I had when creating the business, like really, I was always giving away information for free. And I still need to do that. Like it's part of who I am. I have to help people who can't always afford your services, right? So how do you do that effectively without, so that, and that was the YouTube channel, right? Tons of great information, always great. Look, I repurpose that content. It helps me with my social. It's not totally selfless. It's helping somebody. And eventually that will, it's like that whole, that Go Giver, the book, The Go Giver. It's like when you give out all of this stuff, and I've been telling people, how did you grow the business? How did you do this? I'm like, I consistently give out referrals. I consistently give free advice. I consistently show up. If somebody needs help, like I had somebody who, needed help. They couldn't hire me. They couldn't afford to hire me. I'm like, okay, so here's my suggestion. Go watch this video, and this video. And now it's up to them, right? Helping people like that. And then when he's at a point in his business where he can hire me, guess where he's going to go? Or maybe he knows somebody that is, that can afford the services or needs the services, who's willing to invest the time or whatever. That's all it takes. It's so cool. It's, and I've been blessed with being around some amazing, thought-provoking people who gave me ideas to help me grow my business, right? That's the kind of thing when even if you're not a B2B, like take this B2C, right? So you have somebody who provides, I'm going to just say jewelry, okay? They're a jeweler and they do this, right? Like there's a Master Network member who goes live and she just posts these things like, what's your favorite Disney movie? And people enter as many, and then she makes it a contest. Enter as many times as you want. So what is she getting? People want that jewelry. So they're commenting. Well, her engagement is exploding. She can't buy Facebook advertising for what she's giving away with that jewelry.
Right.
It's like amazing.
And timing is important.
Yeah.
When you post is important. When you respond is important. How you respond is important. And what you do before you post is important. So before you decide to go live or whatever, engage people 20 minutes or less before you do that. Because y'all know that that tag comes up, that notification comes up, someone's liked you, someone's commented on you. What do? You click on them to see who they are. You click on them to see what they're doing. And then they're into your feed now. So if you've just posted something new or you've gone live or if something's happening, now they're engaging with you because they've come to see what you're doing. So make sure it's not just about what happens after you've posted. It's about what you do before you post or before you go live to get people engaged and really working on being a part of that social conversation.
Right. So I know we're talking a lot about engagement and things like that. I mean, this is, we should probably circle back to.
I don't want to do that, but we will.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry. I'm very much like we said, we were going to talk about this.
I'm teasing because I really was going to get us back there, but
okay.
Maggie's really good. So we did this because every person under the sun, and Maggie hears it, I hear it, all we hear every day, all day long, is engagement, engagement, engagement. So all of this information is stuff you need to do all the time. Look, you just need to do it. So the question is, if you want to do all of this stuff, how do you set it up so that you can kick off the year with it in place and ready to do? And that was really the conversation Maggie and I were having when we talked about putting this together. What does 2022 look like and how do you roll into 2022? And Maggie, you already said one thing that I think is really important. If you haven't done it yet, figure out where your clients are, where your prospective clients are. Don't tax yourself. You do not have to be on every platform. You really shouldn't be on every platform because I guess if you have something that'll post everywhere, do it. But in all reality, you want to be good at one or two platforms. You want to be consistent so that your clients can count on you. They know what's going to happen. They know when you're going to post and why you're going to post. And they know you're going to be there. Because if they know you're going to show up, they'll show up too.
Right.
So that's my tip. But now we're going to roll into the next set, which is Maggie's tips on how to take 2022 to the next level. So what do they need to do when they're talking about 2022?
So, you need to, if you don't already, this is always my step. Right? You talked about ideal client, step one. Step two, what's your brand, your message, right? Like, what are you going to focus on? Okay. In your month, like take each month, right? Like we have a freebie going on right now. And I do this every year. It's called, it's a social media calendar. And I added in a free ebook to it. So if masteritmedia.com/freebie, okay. Get a social media calendar, use mine, use somebody else's. I don't care. Start planning your content. What are you going to say? What are you trying to promote? So if you're an accountant, right, your busy time of year is going to be March. Well, depends. Hello, COVID. We don't know. But let's just assume it's going to be March and April.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Let's just guess for this year. We don't know. But anyway, when you want to have content because that's your busy time of year, because guess what? That's when people are looking for an accountant, right? That's when they're looking for a CPA. They're looking for somebody to do their taxes, but you're too darn busy because you're doing. So what should you do?
Yeah.
Plan your content, because not for anything. If there's, how many times does the accounting world change? Okay. It does change, but there's some things that are consistent. So you post the things that aren't going to change. And then every once in a while, if somebody says, well, I like to be in the moment. Okay, so be in the moment, but you can still have content that you're creating that's consistent. And then when you feel the urge to go live, go live. Be an actor, right? Like that's fine. That's all great and fine and good, right? You want that, but plan your content. Make it brand specific, be on brand, be on point, take advantage of trending. Like I usually say, unless for extenuating circumstances, don't plan a year in advance. Could you imagine those people back in January of 2020 if they planned their whole year in advance? Don't do it. But here's the thing, like my social media calendar, I have from last year. So I could say, oh, wait a minute. You know what? December 17th was Ugly Christmas Sweater Day. I got to do a post for Ugly Christmas Sweater Day, which I am. So go to my social and you'll find it on December 17th. But that's the thing, right? Like you don't have to now do all that stuff because you already did it, right? You've had something. So if you have content in a specific place in this calendar, for example, you'll now be like, that's what we do for our clients. I got them all laid out. So clients that I had at the beginning of last year, I can go back and look what we did the year before, make sure I don't duplicate something, right? But if it's one of those days, like we have an auto repair shop, right? I want to make sure that Driver Safety Awareness Day or, you know, whatever is coming up, I need to make sure we still have that. I'm making my life easier for you, right? Like that makes your life easy. So having a calendar in place, making sure that you are looking at your calendar, looking at your products, looking at your services, and putting your photos, your brand stuff, everything in one receptacle so that you can easily get, like, you know, we love Canva, right? Like Canva is amazing. It's so easy to use. I was just telling somebody about it today who designs his own graphics. I can't remember what he was using. Photoshop.
Somebody doesn't know about Canva?
No. Nope. I gave him my affiliate link. I'm like, you can use it for free, right? Like the free resources are great. Like all my workshops, when I do my workshops, we just finished a series on Canva, right? And he was so disappointed. He's like, and I missed it. Next time you offer it. I said, the beauty of recording it, you can buy it and watch the recordings. And he says, what if I have questions? I'm like, that's like, just email me. If you got a question.
I got a phone.
I never answer my phone, so he knows better. But that being said, right, like you have there are tools out there to help you make it easy. We talk about taking your Canva content and like put your photos in there. If you have the paid version, you can put your brand, your colors, your logos, your font, you create your own little brand kit. And then what we do is we create the whole month in one page, video, the graphics, and then all the cuts, so I can see. And you know the fun thing about Canva, I don't know if you know this, but you can view, like say you do multiple pages, like say you have 12 posts, right, that you've created one after the other. In Canva, you can view all 12, and then you can slide it and it'll turn, you can see the grid, the 3x3 for Instagram. It's very cool.
Very cool.
And so my thing is, get yourself, what's a word I want to use? Like a toolkit or something. Get whatever works for you. If you're going to post organically, post organically. But like, that's why I like my software, because I create my posts. I've got hashtags stored, so I don't have to type a gazillion hashtags every time I do a post. I got my little emoji favorite things that I do, right? When you take the time, like a lot of people are taking the last week of the year off, right? Or it's a slow week. Take a couple of hours and get your stuff together. Make your life easy. If you dedicate some time ahead of time and just develop a process that you can follow week after week, month after month, you will make your life so much easier. And block your time. Like I've been taking a productivity workshop, right? Like block the time and do not deter from that block time. You don't treat it like it's extra work. Social media, for most people, social media should not be extra work. It is a free way to promote your business. I'm going to say again, a free way to promote your business. Promote your business, promote yourself. Like how powerful is that? Just so you know, my Fitbit went off. I talk with my hand so much that it thinks I'm walking. I've hit my 3,000 steps and I have not left my office all day. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. Like, that's something I need to do on a social media post, because people will find that funny, because I'm consistently talking with my hands.
So people find out way too much about me on this platform, but I help my clients. Experience amazing results in social media, and then I do really horrible things to myself. So it is really a do as I say, not as I do, because I'm sure that I will have time. And so I do everything else that I'm supposed to be doing for everybody else and everything else. And then the day gets away from me.
Yes.
Right. And when I plan, I have really great engagement and I have really great things that are going out into social media. I was juggling a whole bunch of work and a whole bunch of stuff because we were doing some changes in our home. So my personal life crept into my business life. It was all like laboring on top of each other. And if you go on and look at my social media right now, I haven't been there. And that's bad. It's really bad not to show up. So I'm actually going to do the exact same thing y'all need to do. First off, I'm going to sign up for Teleprompter. I should have done it ages ago. And secondly, I'm going to
sign up now, because you'll get it tomorrow morning. And then you get the free workshops with your Teleprompter subscription.
Okay, so I have to say this. We're going to go back to planning, but this is another part of planning. Part of planning is finding out who your mentors are and hanging around with them. And I think I've told you enough now. Maggie needs to be one of your mentors. She is doing the most amazing thing. I am putting it in the chat right now. She is doing Get Popular with Profiles, and that is starting this week. So I want you guys to take a look. You can find out about it here, but she's actually going to walk you through in 3 weeks how to do profiles on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, correct?
Correct. So your LinkedIn is going to be first. And look, this is proven statistics, okay? If your profile on LinkedIn is filled out so that you get an all-star rating, you will get, I kid you not, 3 times the engagement, 3 times. So your effort in taking a few simple steps in the beginning will make every single post after that 3 times more engaging. Just crazy. So so LinkedIn is going to be December 21st. But remember, like, even our Canva workshops, I record them and then they're accessible. We have the recording, the Q&A, and then I have a team that generates it. You haven't seen this yet, Jean. I have a team who generates these takeaways. I think they should be called ebooks because they're so insanely chock full of information that guide you through it on your own. So you get the workshop, you get the Q&A, you get the takeaway, and you get the recording so you can rewatch it if you need to. I mean, we're really looking at, the teleprompter with the training and taking it and saying, how can I help people because look, it's all about this craziness that we got to deal with. And every time we turn around, did you hear what happened with Google? I'm going to have to do a whole separate one just on Google. Did you hear Google My Business is now called Google Business Profile? You go into a search engine. You should try this when we get over. You can try it now. It doesn't matter. But if you go and if you have a Google My Business set up and you're in your Chrome and you go to Google and search My Business, your Google My Business profile will pop up for you to edit. That's awesome. What is going on. And they're trying to make it easier for you to do it in search. And so these are the kinds of things that we we share, because it's just, if you're not in it day and night, you're not going to know. Now, the LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, these profiles that you're setting up, LinkedIn is called bio. So forgive me for not using profile/bio, but it didn't rhyme. So sorry. But these are things in your bios, like people don't even know. Like, did you know in LinkedIn that you can record the pronunciation of your name on your app, on your phone, but only on your phone? You can't record it on your computer. You can record it on your phone. If somebody goes to it later, they can. But you have 10 seconds. I don't know about you, but it doesn't take 10 seconds for me to record my name. So what am I using with that other 10 seconds? So that's a free tidbit. Things like that.
Say, Maggie, Carey, we take the promotion out of your promotion. We take the promotion out of your promotion.
I don't want to take the promotion out of your promotion. Yeah. Well, you go to my LinkedIn and see what you find. But that's one of the types of tips that people can get with this, because it's not always, they're great gems in these tools, right? They're great gems. What we run into the challenge with is that if you had to do the research to figure it all out yourself, you'd be spending hours. Use my 35 years experience in IT and let me do all that work for you. And then just tell you what to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're done.
The best tip I ever got was, what do you charge an hour for what you do? And wouldn't it be better to make that money than to do something that you're not really trained at, that's going to take you 4 times as long as someone you can pay to do it, and probably won't be as good as someone you can pay to do it? Take those 4 hours and make the money you need to make in your business, and let someone else do it in an hour, because it's what they do every day.
It's what they do every day. Look, and we do this all the time. Like, Jean, I could take a picture of myself with my cell phone. Nah. Now, the same thing, we talk about this. You don't, some people do their own taxes, but a business usually doesn't, right? We hire somebody to do our taxes. We hire lawyers to look at contracts, right? We hire business coaches all the time, right? But for some reason, the world thinks we have to do our own social. Like, when you think about it, like, I'm not going to mow my lawn, okay? I have an acre of property, and I am an accident waiting to happen, okay? So I am not going to mow my lawn, right? I hire somebody who comes in, does the whole lawn with his because he's got the tools, right? He has the equipment. You have the camera. You have the lighting. You have a studio. You have talent. You have years of experience, decades of experience, right?
I'm old. It's true.
Well, I do too. I tell people all the time, I've got 35 years experience. Oh, you're aging yourself. I'm like I
know you started when you were 4, but that's okay.
It's true. No, but right. Like, here's the thing though, right? What are you, all those years of experience? Like, was there social media when I first started in IT? No, but you know what? Somebody the other day, we were working on something. They were struggling with it. They called me up. They said, Maggie, do you know the answer to this? 5 minutes, gave them the answer. They were done. And they're like, how do you do that? I'm like, because I made this mistake 20 years ago that made me figure out how to do this now, right? It's the experience that you've gone through. And I'm sure, and believe me, and every day and every week and every month and every year, I learned something else that I didn't know, that I then put in that toolkit, right? So that when somebody hires me, we talk about this, so it's not that hour that you're paying for, it's the hour that of the 35 years experience that they're bringing into that 1 hour.
Right.
Sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and say, man, I can't afford that, but I really don't want to go to JCPenney to have my headshots done. Okay. You have to look at what you're getting for the money that you're spending. Are you going to get the exposure for your business if you don't have a professional headshot? LinkedIn is like, here's another tip I'm going to give you for free. If you have an unprofessional photo in your LinkedIn bio, that's going to affect you. Think about it. Like, if I have a cell phone picture of me sitting on the beach, wow, no, because I'm selling social media. Now, if I were selling, a Beachbody thing, yeah, great. That would be perfect, right? But it still needs to be professional.
It still needs to be a quality image. Like,
Correct.
it's so funny when you're working with someone and they're talking to you about how you need to show up in your media, everybody has to show up a little bit differently, but you still need to show up professionally. I had someone in the studio, we were talking, and she said, is it bad if I have a professional photo because I work with people? And I don't want them to think that I'm,
Pretentious.
I feel like really pretentious. Like I feel really like I'm big. And I went, are you in business? You're saying I have a business and I take it seriously. But the photo that we took of you was really compelling.
Yes.
It was empathetic. It was relaxed. It was wonderful, but it was a beautifully put together image that captured who you are and who you'll be for your client.
You know whose photos you know whose photos that you took that I absolutely loved was Teresa Safali. So she's using all of those photos in her Daily Achievers program, which is amazing. And she's got like this one photo. I think her hand.
I love it so much.
Hands were, right? Like it was very cool. And she's got her leopard print and her leather, right? Like just because it's a professional photo doesn't mean that it has to be pretentious. Like it could be fun and engaging. And she had like different, and then like when we were promoting her, it was like a couple of different things. And she was like, oh, she's like, here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you gave me like options that I could choose. I've got like terrible, like I'm just like Jean has taken time to not sign up for Teleprompter. I'm still haven't gotten my head. I know. I have to, what?
You haven't come to me for a photo.
I know. And that's great. I was waiting to lose weight and I gained 5 pounds back. So now I'm even worse. And you think the holidays are going to help? My daughter cooks cookies like she learned from me. So
I'm starting to cook my cookies. Don't even. You're waiting for me to sign up for Teleprompter. I know.
No, I was waiting to lose weight. Like, hey, why am I going? I'm going to have her Photoshop me so that I.
Oh, stop it! By the way, when people call me and say, "Do you Photoshop me?" I don't. I make sure that the images are of you looking amazing, and it is really all about that. And it is as simple as understanding what various poses do to people. Here's my trick. You ready?
I'm ready.
Watch. It's scary. Ready?
I'm ready.
So when you lean into the camera,
yes,
you're actually engaging. Look where this shadow is, right?
Yes.
Look where the light's hitting. That's because I'm lit correctly, okay? Now, what everybody does is they move away from the camera because they don't like the camera. And the thing that is closest to the camera is the thing that's biggest in the camera. That's not a good look. By the way, that's not me. I can't believe
those are the girls.
But no, it's just people do the strangest things when they see a camera. And then they say, well, I don't think I look good. And it's like, well, a camera is supposed to distort you.
Well,
so the person holding the camera has to understand how the camera works. So they can put you into positions where it's actually capturing who you are. And the right you, people are like, well, why? It's my favorite. How come when you take the picture, I look better? Like, 30 years.
There you go.
Experience.
And, we do tend, I know I screwed you up one day while you were doing a presentation and it's like, okay, so who likes to have their picture taken? I'm like, Maggie, put your hand down. I was like, I thought I was doing the good thing. And it's like, no, you're not. And that thank you. I love you, Stephanie. But, and I think we are our own worst critics. And I do. I'm blessed. Look, the only reason I'm beautiful is because my mother was stunning. Okay. Look, think about it. It's heredity, right? Like I've got, skin, my hair, my eyes, whatever we get from our parents, right? So I should say thank you. And, I think we tend to be very self-critical and, and not so much that, we're into the whole of, oh my God, how am I going to get over this, feeling of whatever. Look, I had a great time going over to get my hair done. Kathleen Troy's doing my color now. She's amazing. And I was like, I want to get back. Like I had lightened my hair and I didn't like it. Like I just didn't like it. So I went back to my original color and then she did something else. I don't know what the heck. One of these days when I'm old enough and I've got enough gray hair to just let it all go, I'm going to do one of those things where this is going to be a purple streak and the rest is going to be gray.
Do you know, I have said that all along. When I have gray hair, I'm not going to have gray hair. I'm going to have purple hair.
Yeah, there you go. I saw a woman the other day. She had to be pushing 70 easy. Well, I'm not that far away from that, but
yeah, let's not talk about that.
I know, but she was like, she had purple tips. I was like, man, you look gorgeous. Yeah, see, Stephanie's with me. Look what Stephanie just said.
I'm throwing it up there. Hold on. Oh, it is so true.
And you know what? This is, talk about not getting your photo taken, right? This is what prevents a lot of people from putting themselves on social media. But who are people buying from? They're not buying from Master Media. They're not buying from, well, your name is in your company, but
they're not buying from Gene Turman. They are. Yeah.
They are. They're buying from Gene Turman, not Gene Turman Photography, right? Like they're buying you and what you do and what you offer, right? Like that's the tough one.
Well, and it's very interesting. Again, you can actually do as I do this time.
Okay.
I never wanted to be in front of a camera. I lived my life behind a camera. I was never going to be in front of a camera. I didn't like it. And I get in my head, right? I know all of the angles. I know what has to happen with light. I know all of that. So when someone's coming at me with a camera, I can't relax. I'm going, oh, that's the wrong angle. Ooh, I'm not going to look good with that. Ooh, so I never look relaxed. I look like this. So, I mean, you can't look good, right? My job has always been to relax everybody else so they look amazing. And I don't take a lot of photos. To be really fair, the photos that I use for my press photos, I either set up and took myself or my child took because I've trained my child. Is that sad? But it's true. I'm a control freak. Go for it. It's what makes it me such a great person to work with. But
you are.
I'm a control freak. But I was never going to be in front of a camera. And suddenly, my happy face is on video every freaking week. And I get to say that. I'd use another word if I could. Yes. My face is out here. And it was scary. It was so hard. And look, my hair was down halfway down my back during COVID. It was turning 9 shades of colors it shouldn't be. It was like, you name it. And I still went on camera because.
Oh, let me tell you something, honey. I have very dark hair and I was doing the skunk walk. It was, there was no amount of that little spray that, no.
So when you're out there thinking, I can't do it, I shouldn't do it, you can do it well. And that doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It means show up, be direct, know what your focus is, and have a conversation with your target audience. But I was taking notes while Maggie was talking. And you have to know having focus is really important. So Maggie talked about having a monthly focus for next year. Having a global focus is important too. Right. What's your mission? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to tell the world? That is really important. And then that gets broken down into each month. How are you going to communicate that message? What are the different ways you're going to communicate that message? And using a calendar, reach out to Maggie because her tools are amazing. But
yeah, I'm going to put in I can't put in the comments, Jean. Let me.
Did you put it in a comment to me and then I'll copy it?
This, and like I said, and then there's an ebook that is 20 tips on how to combat writer's block when it comes to your social media. So
that's awesome. I know that we are taking up a lot of your time today, Maggie, and I know that we are cruising into the end of the hour, but there is a lot of content that we covered. Go back, listen to it again. We talked about who you need to be in social media. We talked about the kind of person you need to be when you're communicating with people. And then we talked about some tips to make 2020 work better for you. We had lots of other plans that we
2022.
Did I say that?
You said 2020. We're done with 2020.
2022.
I don't know, unless you said 2 and I didn't hear it, but 2022.
I said 2020. I apologize. Don't go backwards.
Don't go backwards. We don't want to go back.
And I really have to there has to be a better way than to say 2022, because it does sound like you're doing 2020 over again. I really don't want to do that, people.
Yeah, nobody does. I'm really so over 2020. We all are.
I don't want the second version of 2020.
Does it not feel like 2020 and 2021 were just one elongated year?
No, I feel like it's been a lot. That Lost Horizons or whatever. I feel like I feel like I've fallen into whatever that crater was, and I've been staring at dinosaurs for a while, and I'd like to go home now. I would really like to go home now.
Yeah, Stephanie's agreeing with me that 2020 and 2021 felt like 1 year. So I thank you, Stephanie, for validating me.
But we want to have a better 2022, a better next year. We want to make sure that you have one as well. So take the time to set up your media. Remember, pick the streams where your clients are. You don't have to be everywhere. Be focused. Be consistent. If you decide that you're going to post 2 times a week, post 2 times a week. If you decide you're going to post 2 times a day, post 2 times a day. That's a lot of posting. But no, it's just about being consistent and having focus and letting people know who you are every time that you put something out there. And that doesn't mean that you have to sell all the time. Like Maggie said, put out a recepe. Put out a question. What's your favorite movie?
Put out a question. And guys, look, take the next 2 weeks, right? This is what I worked on. I usually do my content 1 week at a time because that's how I feel it works best for me in my allocated time block, right? But I blocked out time on Sunday and I'm blocking out time on Wednesday. I'm going to have all my content done through 12/31. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want not to work on Sunday between Christmas and New Year's to do my content. Figure out how you do that when you go on vacation, when you have a break, when you've got a busy time in your, make a plan, stick to it, adapt it when you need to.
And do yourself a favor and listen to Maggie about something else, which is make sure when you're posting, you've created a scenario where you are available to respond when people comment and respond with meaningful comments.
Right. The same with your reviews, right? Like people leave reviews and they don't reply back. I'm like, they went to the trouble to leave you a review. Good, bad, or ugly, whatever that review is, comment back.
Do something. And look, if someone says something that's not great about you, you have the ability to say, thank you for that feedback. You might want to argue. Don't. Because once you start arguing, they'll argue back.
Yeah.
So if someone says, I wish blah, 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 don't say, well, that didn't happen. It's, thank you for that feedback. I would love to talk to you. Please call me. We want to make sure your experience we want to make sure that we can take care of that experience for you and make sure that your next experience is amazing.
Right. Because remember, other people are reading your reviews and not commenting. But not only are they reading the reviews, they were reading your reply to the reviews.
And they're figuring out who you are as a business person.
And if you're nasty, even if the person that there have been things where it was horrid review, right? And I get it, man. Man, it's tough. But
maybe somebody had a bad day. Let them have a bad day. But if you come back at it with, thank you for that information. I am so sorry that you feel that way. I'm so sorry that experience happened. Please call us so that we can make it better for you and you can have a better experience the next time, right?
Absolutely.
That's how you do it. Master It Media Teleprompter. We've been talking about it. Go there. Once a week, you'll get something. I'm going to sign up today so that I can. I'm so excited. I'm going to do what I need to do. And you should too. So we are past the hour. We are so happy you came to play with us. If you're watching us on the replay, I know you got a glass of wine and your jammies on because you text me and you tell me. I'm so happy. And we love you. So come back next week. Next week is a little iffy for me. I'm going to tell you, I don't have anyone programmed for next week. And next week is, that week right before the guy in the red suit comes, if that's what you do for this time of year. So people are a little crazy. So we're going to figure out what next week looks like. It could be something kind of special.
Ooh,
but whatever it is, whatever you're celebrating, and however it goes, this really is the season of light. So be a light in someone's life. Make a contribution somewhere wonderful. And Maggie, thank you for your contribution today. Thank you for coming and playing with us.
Oh, anytime, Jean. I love being here. It's always fun, and thank you guys for joining us and helping us give you whatever information you need. I always say the comments that we get always help with what we do. I'm always looking for ideas for Master It Monday, so make sure you pop on over. Go look at Jean's. I think you did 2 with us, Jean. We had 2 videos with Jean. Just go to youtube.com/masteritmedia, search for Jean Turman. You will find her there. Great content. So thank you for all the great tips and information as well, Jean. You always have great information to share.
It is always fun having you here. And for everybody else, have a wonderful week. I'll see you back here next Tuesday with a little bit of candy sprinkles and maybe a little bit of peppermint scent. We'll know. We'll see what happens.
I want cookies. I'm going to come get my pictures now so I can get cookies. When are your cookies going to be ready?
So we're making cookies. I'm actually making some this weekend. I do make amazing ginger snaps. I just want to let you know.
No. Okay.
Do you like ginger snaps?
I like ginger. I like anything ginger, whatever. Gingerbread coffee, gingerbread cookies.
So I make this cookie. Oh my goodness. Maybe I'll have to put this in the chat.
Put the recipe in the social media.
I make this cookie where it's a butter cookie, but it's stuffed with chocolate and peanut butter. It's really good.
All right.
Stephanie,
we're taking a road trip to Jean's. I'll bring the wine.
I love this. I think you're making gift packages now.
There you go. Do it. We'll just stop by. We'll take a ride.
No one can have my ginger snap recipe.
No, I don't
give away all
want
my other recipes.
No gingerbread.
Ginger snap recipe is mine.
Well, then we just have to come down. See, Stephanie's agreeing with me. We are coming down.
Yay! You know what, guys? Forever and always, have a wonderful week. I love you. Whether you're watching us live or whether you're on the replay, I love you. I'm wishing you the best. And we'll see you again next week. Thanks again, Mags.
Thank you.